From the depths of rot and decay they rise. The death god marches on the sickened skies. With boils and blight they spread the pain. In Nurgle's name disease will reign. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death god comes, none can stay. From the depths of rot and decay they rise. The death god marches under sickened skies. With boils and blight they spread the pain. In Nurgle's name disease will reign. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death god comes, none can stay. Armored and filled with rusted blades, they laugh as cities wilt and fade. Where they tread, no life remains, just hollow corpses, plague remains. Beneath the helm, cursed grin, for in death they shall begin. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death god comes, none can stay. Beneath the warp the souls are bound, to spread decay, to break the ground. Nurgle's gifts a putrid stain, a future where only disease remains. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death god comes, none can stay. The rot spreads, there's no escape. The death god seals your fate. The blackened sky we rise, wings of death, clouds of flies. The crag will burn, the pure will fall. Mortarion's wrath will consume them all. Ultimate pride crumbled in the dust. Your emperor's light can't stop the rust. Disease and rot are your final breath. Now kneel before the reaper's death. I am the plague, I am the rot, the end of all that you forgot. You fought for hope, you fought for life. Now your shining world slowly dies. From the skies I bring despair. Your warriors choke on poisoned air. My cracking flames, hear the cries. Mortarion's plague, watch its glory dies. The reaper falls, your honored sword. In death your soldiers are reborn. There's no salvation, no last stand. My crown is buried by my hand. Blue and gold, once proud, once bright, now swallowed whole by endless night. I am decay, and I will feast. Your chapter falls beneath my feet. Gleaming suns will face my wrath. In every breath, your lungs turn black. Your noble heart, I turn to ash in my shadow. Your hopes will crack. I am the plague, I am the rot, the end of all that you forgot. You fought for hope, you fought for life. Now your shining world slowly dies. From the skies I bring despair. Your March's glory dies, the angel falls, you're on a sword. In death your soldiers are reborn. There's no salvation, no last stand. McGregor's buried by my hand. Buried by my hand. You fall, you fall. McGregor's buried by my hand.
And hello and good evening to everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Disgustingly Resilient podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed the tunes there. Hello everybody, welcome in chat. Tonight obviously we're here for another episode of the Plague Surgery, so we're going to be picking up where we left off, and basically it's the usual kind of shtick. We're going to be going through lists that our members have submitted, and we're going to be giving advice, opinions, feedback, and obviously we got a bit new this time. New MFMs dropped, so new points are in play, all kind of things like that. So should be quite a bit different. Obviously not the most changes for us, but still some nice new lists that are coming out. So be interested to get into those. If you do enjoy the stream, please do quickly remember, it's usual stream nonsense and YouTube nonsense. Leave a like, leave a subscribe, means the world, really helps. For people, if you like the tunes, again, check them out on the Discord. We have them in the music tab for free for download for anyone that's a member. You can just go grab them. I'll put there's two more coming up. The one just played then, and we're going to get another one potentially that you might get if you stick until the very end. But hello, how is everyone doing in the chat? Griffin, Seltrune, how are you doing, buddy? Jurgen's Miasma, Ben Hayden, Sierra117, who also drops his 3-month membership there. Massive thank you for the support there, buddy. Zinth, long time lurker, rarely catch you guys live. Love the new songs. Thank you very much, mate. I'm glad you like him. You can thank, she'll never come on camera once, but you can thank her for the tunes. She got that whole thing started, and she's made some absolute bangers of it. Chizito, hey mate, how you doing? James Rowe, Chuckanori, and Huge Anus there, good old Huge Anus there. So yeah, it's good to have you all here. I am on my own tonight. There is no, unfortunately, Will and Dave are a bit busy tonight, so it will be solo. So if I take a few breaks, have a drink, go easy on me. It's hard on the throat talking for like 2 hours straight, or whatever it is. Dark, yeah, hello as well, mate. So yeah, let's sort of dive into it really. So first up here. And we've got a nice one actually. It's a 1k army list. So, bloody hell, Sierra117 with a gifted membership. Thank you very, very much there, Ben Hayden. Congratulations on that one. And then Lazy DM coming with 10 gifted memberships as well. So for those who don't know, if you've been gifted a membership, we have a Discord that members can join. You just go to our community tab on YouTube and you scroll down a little bit. It's a few posts down now. Click the link. You'll get an access to the Discord. Once you're in Discord, go to your settings, connections, link your YouTube to your Discord, and in doing so, you will have access to all the special like plague surgery things on the left here, and you can put your list in, all that kind of stuff. Lazy DM as well, becoming a member of himself for 6 months. Massive appreciation there, mate. So first one we're going to get going is into Leetsky. So again, these lists are not just limited to 2k. This is the first one we got here. This is for a 1k army list. Now I have moved. There was a few before this. Now those guys have reposted, obviously, because there's been points changes, so we don't want to review a list that is now kind of like outdated. But everyone that has posted has reposted the list, so don't feel like anyone is being robbed. And again, you can just repost if you want to. So this is a 1k list. We're going to look at new to 40k. This is my first 1k army list. I feel like I've cooked with this, but I've yet to play it. Would love some feedback. Really want to learn and get better. Cheers. Okay, so starting off with Typhus. So already great choice. Typhus at 80 points is an absolute steal. So Typhus in your 1k list, kind of a no-brainer. So happy with that. We've also got a Lord of Virulence. So Lord of Virulence obviously giving rerolls to wound with shooting attacks to the Terminators he joins. Then we got 2 Malignant Plaguecasters, so I can feel a Plague Bus coming here. Then we've got 1 squad of 5 Plague Marines. Now, I'm just going to... 2 squads of 5 Plague Marines, actually. Now, one thing I'm instantly going to say here is that your 2 Plague Marine squads both have a unit with a bolt gun in it. Now, just because of the way a 40k is at the moment, with all upgrades being free, there's really no reason for you to ever put bolt gun on a model. Their bolt guns are just worse than everything else. It's genuinely, I know you're thinking here is probably they're a shooting squad because you've got a blight launcher, a spewer, a melter gun. Even if it is a shooting squad, you would genuinely do better with that being a melee weapon, just on the off chance you charge. because a bolt gun does literally negative damage. I'm surprised they don't heal your opponents at this point. So if you could swap out that bolt gun for some form of melee weapon, be that heavy plague weapon or biotic weapon, genuinely would be a lot better. And on your sergeant, you've got it listed as a plasma pistol, but the plasma gun is pretty much just always better. So I would swap that out for a plasma gun. And if you're worried about the actual model, because the kit itself doesn't come with a plasma gun, on the champion anyway, no one's going to call you out on it. I promise you that. Just tell them it's a plasma gun. Because again, there's no reason you would take a plasma pistol over a plasma gun, because the actual pistol rule barely ever comes into play. Usually you've killed what you charged, or you're dead to what's charged you. So that's my first bit of opinion here. Same for the second squad there, mate. So again, just swap them around maybe a bit. Maybe make one squad into more shooty. Maybe you could put extra melee weapons on the second squad. Chukanori enjoying the bolt gun healing your opponent. Maybe. I mean, imagine if the Plague Surgeon could do that. He'd heal more than he actually, heals of our own guys. If he could heal his opponent with his bolt pistol, that'd be nice. So you could actually have your second Plague Marine squad go 3 heavy plague weapons, 2 biotic weapons, which is then quite a scary little melee package. Not like the most scary, but in terms of 1,000 points for a 90-point unit, they can bully and batter most things they're going to come across. So it's not an upgrade. It's more like a just maybe consider it, because then you've got like a shooty squad and you've got like a melee squad that which can like get out and be a pressure piece onto an opponent's objective. But it's neither here nor there, so don't worry about that. Again, swap the plasma pistol for a plasma gun. It's generally better. Then you've got a unit of 5 Blight Lord Terminators. Now, Blight Lord Terminators overall in the game aren't amazing. They tend to just not deal much damage, and they don't have much output. Now, this again though is a 1,000-point game, and 1,000 points, they're actually not too bad, because opponents again have to deal with them. They're extremely cheap for like the profile of like T6, 3 wounds, 2 up, 4 up. So they can actually do a decent job. There's not tons of OC running around at 1k because people don't have as many models. So they can actually bully squads. You don't tend to run into like big 10-man bricks of death. Like again, unless you're playing someone absolutely cutthroat. But like you said, you're new to 40k. So there's nothing wrong with the 5 Blight Lord Terminators. The question would be, does Typhus go with them, or does Lord of Virulence go with them? Lord of Virulence obviously would give them rerolls on the shooting attacks, which is not bad to fish for like extra wounds. You got a Plague Spear in there, which is nice to get rerolls to wound. Combi weapons themselves generally, you have the anti-infantry 4-up with death wounds, which is, pretty good on the reroll from Lord of Virulence. The problem is it hits on 4s. So when you actually maths it out, you're going to do about 2 death wounds, which is just kind of crap. You would genuinely better just rocking the combi Plague Bolters, and they're just using them for clearing stuff like Gaunts, Guardsmen, things like that. Just mass shots, just clear out trash. Because really, if you need some heavy hitting here, you're going to be looking at your next unit, which is your Death Shroud Terminators. Now, do bear in mind, these are now 110 points, mate, so just make sure you have updated your app. Should have an extra 10 points, which might get you a little enhancement or something. But they're really going to be trying to hunt down the elites. Now, I'd still probably go... You probably could go Typhus with the Death Shroud in this situation, I reckon, still. But you can go either or. That's a good thing about our list. You can genuinely swap between matchups. If you're in a matchup where your opponent has melee brawling units, so say they've got like an equivalent to your Death Shroud, put Typhus with your Death Shroud to give them that extra durability in close combat. But if your opponent has brought, like, maybe you're against a Tyranny player who really likes Gaunts and he's brought tons of them, then maybe put Lord of Virulence with the Death Shroud squad just to give the real wounds to the Flamers, because it's going to help you kill lots and lots of infantry, which is really nice. Then bringing up the rear, we've got a Rhino, which is, again, we've said it a million times. Walking Plague Marines, Dead Plague Marines, you have to have Rhinos, so Rhino plus Plague Marine, good, happy. Don't walk your Plague Marines anywhere if you are new to the game. It is a terrible idea. Plague Busts going in that is always just going to be extremely fun. And at 1,000 points can really take people by surprise at how much it can hurt, which is quite funny. Now, the one thing that's up for debate is the PBC. Now, the PBC at 1,000 points can actually be a proper pain for people to kill because of the 2-up save 5 vulnerable. That being said, he's like your only anti-tank outside of melee on the Death Shroud, which is okay. And entropy cannons themselves are just kind of okay. Technically, you could probably say maybe you'd do better if that was like replaced with like a Predator, but the problem is like the Predator itself is a bit swingy. I mean, technically I could go buy a Brigand, but you play Death Guard, you want to play Death Guard, not go and buy Knights as your first 1,000 points army. So, in general, I'd be okay with a single PBC. I just wish they went 180 points. But if you ever wanted to like swap that out at some point, like what you could potentially. So in my opinion, right now I'm of the mindset of get rid of like, because you need something that's gonna like sit on a home objective. So you like kind of want something like cultists. So I'd probably go with, where do we drop here? We could drop like a Plague Marine squad into like a bloat drone, and then you could potentially drop one of the Plague Casters into a unit of cultists or poxwalkers to like sit on your home objective. That frees up 15 points there, plus you've got your extra 10 points there. It's 25 points. That like does let you get some like Living Plague. It's, you know, it's not too bad. It's just the PBC. It's so many points at the moment. Like I said, I could technically tell you to go and put that into like what do you call it, like a Predator. But again, if you were specifically new and you want to buy Death Guard models, I understand wanting to run the PBC. It's not bad. It's not bad by all means, and again, it can be quite hard to kill. But I think the one thing this list needs, just a bit more than anything, is I would swap out one of either the Plague Marine squads or one of the Plague Casters, despite two being in a bus. One is still fine, especially at 1,000 points. One can still do work, but because you can just shoot the spear out the top on one of these squads. So I'd probably drop a Plague Caster in general. And then I would put the cultists or a unit of poxwalkers in this list, just so you have something to stand on home, because you don't want to have your PBC sat back there or Blight Lords Death Shroud. They need to be going and doing stuff. And if you wanted to, you could technically cut a 5-man and get a bloat drone or a Blight Hauler in there if you're worried about any tank, because those little 90-point demon engines, really durable for the points, fast, zoom around, can do actions, can survive. And again, like, because of 90 points and you're only playing 1k, opponents could actually struggle to take them out sometimes, because anti-tank is not in abundance at one case. So that'd be my initial opinions on this list. I think it's not too bad. I think it's pretty decent. The PVC just being a bit expensive, but if you wanted to keep it in, I would probably cut Playcaster for something to hold your home objective, which is going to be, again, like Poxwalkers or Cultists. Either or's fine. And then maybe swap out a Plague Marine squad for like a bloat drone, just or Blight Hauler, just so you have some more play separated out and it's not all inside the Rhino. Because again, one Playcaster, one squad of Marines and a Rhino, it's fine. You know, it's not too bad. It's a decent choice. And then you can use the 15 points, 25 points you got because of the Death Shroud, and you could put Living Plague. I think it's 20 points now. Onto the Lord of Virulence, which means if he teleports in turn 3, he's going to have something in contagion range, because he'll be 9-inch plus 3-inch contagion, which brings him nicely up to obviously being able to deep strike in range and instantly either shoot something with the Blight Lords or flame it with the Death Shroud. So yeah, those probably little changes I'd make there. But again, you're brand new, mate. Honestly, honest opinion, right now when you're new to 40k, buy what looks cool. 100%. Rule of cool when you are brand new is super important. Don't go out there and buy a metalist. Buy what is fun and what you want to play with. Again, everything I've said there is still fine and usable unit in 40k. I've not sold your Plague Surgeon. And just focus on, like you said, learning the game, getting better, and just getting comfortable playing the game right now. But honestly, that is a 1k list, perfectly fine to go play with. If you want to do some of the changes I said, consider it, but don't feel like you have to. Like that is a perfectly playable list there, mate. Awesome. Okay, next up, let's quickly check in the chat. Got Gokubar, tried Plague Marines without a Rhino on my 500 point Crusade list. They just melted trying to get to the objective. Yeah, that is unfortunate. It does happen. Again, walking Marine, dead Marine, sadly, because Plague Marines aren't tough anymore. Which they weren't always mega tough. Don't get me wrong, but -1 damage back in the day, or feel no pain, helped a little bit. Griffin Soltron, remember to like to boost the algorithm, lads. Yeah, please, if you do enjoy it, consider just clicking that little thumbs up button below. The YouTube monster is pretty mean sometimes, so it does help. Lazy DM, be fair, the Plague Surgeon still looks cool. He does, unfortunately. The model looks really, really cool, and it's so sad that he's always been bad. So next one up, first list with the data slate changes. So I'm gonna quick sip. So Typhus, Bioplutrifier, Foul Blightspawn, Double Malignant Playcaster. We've got the 10-man Plague Marines. He's gone with the it looks like the heavy melee weapon build. So we've got 2 robotics, 4 heavy plague weapons, 2 spears. Oh, you've got and a blight launcher. Yeah, so a bit more leaning on the melee side there, which is nice. Again, there's multiple different loadouts you can do for Plague Marines. You can go quite heavy on melee. You can go You can go like a nice mixture, or you can try and like go for some pure shooting, which is probably the weakest one. Thank you very much, Lazy Chicken, for the gifted membership there, and James Rowe, congratulations for getting that one. I also miss my Volkite Contemptors, James, massively. I'd converted them as well to have like the Death Guard like cloak on it and like the tabard, and yeah, useless, can't use it anymore. Grim. Thank you very much for the gifted membership there. Thumbs up. 10 Death Guard Cultist, 20 Death Guard Cultist, so 10-10. 2 units of Cultist, I think, is becoming more and more necessary. Cultist is just fantastic. Throw away if you want them to, score points, screen stuff out. Scout moves really nice. So I've been making lists, and the list I was playing had 1 unit of Cultist, and every game I played, I was like, God damn, I wish I just had that. I just wish I had that extra unit of Cultists, and you know, now with the points changes, I can actually fit that in. So having 2 units of Cultists in your list, super good choice. 3 Death Shroud Terminators, 10 Poxwalkers, 1 Predator Destructor, 2 Predator Destructor, Las Cannon Side, nice. Havoc Launcher, yep, Plate Combat Bot, yep. 2 Fleshmaw Drones, 2 Death Guard Rhinos, and then, we're going heavy on the allies. We've got some Nurglings, Plague Bearers, 1 Brigand, 2 Brigand, triple Brigand. I did have a Carnivore in, but I was able to upgrade to a Brigand, probably because of the points changes, which is really nice. At my club, I sometimes play UKTC, sometimes WTC, sometimes dumb sparse terrain, but I try to avoid it. Yeah, always trying to avoid. Always trying to avoid the sparse terrain. So overall, this list. So this is quite a brutal shooty list here. We got Cultists to play forward and score secondaries. You got a little Terminator brick. Again, when I used to play, that used to be 6-man. Obviously, I had a Rotagus as well. Triple Brigand is obviously going to be like a main source of damage output here. Plague Bearers, to me, so the way I'm looking at this, mate, honestly, I think you can probably cut the Poxwalkers. I think with both Plague Bearers and 2 units of Cultists, you've got enough chaffy scoring stuff there. What could we use the 50 points for, though, is a different question. Because that is not as easily answered. Now, we've got 2 Rhinos, 1 for the Plague Bus, 1 for the Pilot's Putrefy Foul Bite Spawn. That's more than fine. So you can definitely put your guys onto the point. Getting nice and safe there. Yeah, so I think first thing I changed probably the Poxwalkers out. The question is just, what do we really do with it there? You could technically get another bloat drone, like upgrade that into another Destructor, and then just have like, I have 3 Brigands, I have 3 Destructors, yeah, have fun with that. The thing I'm worried about this list is what's going to be that big, scary thing that stops your opponent. Sort of, I mean, you play Marines to a degree, but what's your big, scary, durable thing? Because a lot of this can die quite easily if you misplay it. And when we say big, scary, durable, we're normally talking Rotagus, we're normally talking Mortarion, we're talking like PVCs, because again, they are more durable than people expect sometimes. Or we're talking like 6-man Death Shroud bricks. So my initial thing here, which I want to try and like fit in, would be like another 3 Death Shroud into this somehow, which is obviously easier said than done. I think if you keep that there, the Plague Bearers are quite expensive at 110 points. They are very cool and very fun though. And there is some shenanigans you can do with Plague Bearers. I think you could probably, is 2 cultists enough with Tallyman? There's a great shout, Lazy. You could actually go over Tallyman straight swap for the Poxwalkers. The extra CP would actually be quite nice in this list. My main concern is what's going to have the turn that has to like try and fight for mid. Because you've got a lot of shooting right now. Lots of great line control on lanes of fire, which is good. But what's going to be the thing that makes something happen? What's going to make the game start having the pieces moving? Because you've got Fleshmaw drones. They're fine. They're not too bad. Because they can initiate trades, which is pretty good. But part of that, like you're looking like cultists can like obviously try and deny some primary, so can the Plague Bearers, sorry. But what's going to allow you to force your opponent to either expose? Because the good thing about running Death Shroud bricks, especially 6-mans, is if your opponent doesn't expose themselves and doesn't start the screens, then you just get a really nice rapid ingress off, and you just walk into them next turn, start charging and start killing stuff. So a 3-man is pretty scary, but the 3-man to me, to punch as hard as you want to, wants a lot of contagion, and I'm not willing to drop Typhus for swapping him out, because Typhus is very, very important. Does this add up? I don't know. It just feels like it's some form of points is missing. Is it because the 2 predators are in there? You could technically go down to like 2 brigand, or just drop one of the predators. I don't know what I want to do with this one. I definitely feel. I mean, like my initial reaction straight up is like turn these 10 plague bearers into like the other 3 death shroud, and then there's your brick of 6 right there. But at the same time, I kind of get why you want the plague bearers. I think that would probably be like the smart choice, because then you can keep your poxwalkers in. So I would probably go up, or you can trade that for a tallyman. So I'd go with your poxwalkers to a tallyman, and then I would trade the plague bearers into the 6-man or a second 3-man, but you don't have a character for that, so no. Going for a 6-man just gives you that really big, scary punching force. That's going to basically allow you to, and it also can keep people humble. Because if you come across, like, let's say right now you come across like World Eaters, or something that can really run you down fast. The Cultist, admittedly, great screen, so thank God we've got 2 of those in there. And again, if you keep the Plague Bearers, that's plenty of screens. You don't need the Plague Bearers at that point. But say something that can really melee pressure you. Let's say they clap into you. They kill like the 2 screens with like berserks and stuff. You can shoot and kill them easy. You need something that can countercharge and be pretty damn scary. So having that 6-man death shroud that you can just deploy on the board in those matchups as well, it's going to keep people a bit more humble, shall we say, because you've got all the firepower to keep shooting stuff humble, but you also need to make sure melee armies can't just run at you. Because if they, at any point, if you mess up or they kill your screens somehow, and then melee gets into your 3 brigands and your 2 predators, it's going to disappear real quick. Those things are not tough. And all you've got really to fight back against it is the 10 Plague Marines. Your 3 Death Shroud, don't get me wrong, but I would rather that be a big brick of 6. I think that'd be my initial thing. The Plague Bearers aren't going to scare people to stay away from you. So I'd go Plague Bearers into the next amount of Death Shroud. And then, again, depending on how much you feel like you want your screens and your screening, because you've already got the 20 cultists, you can either keep the Poxwalkers as they are, that's more than fine, they can sit on home, or I'd swap them to a Tallyman, as was suggested by a Lazy DM, if you feel like yourself is needing the CP quite a bit. Okay? Let us know how that goes. And also, yeah, again, if you keep finding that you've got plenty of shooting, consider that 3rd Brigand maybe potentially expendable. And then that could obviously go into, like, you know, that could go into the Death Shroud squad instead, and then you can keep all your scory, tradey pieces. So again, depends how you like to play there, but that would be my initial things. And it is, as Cito does say here, it's a lot of points in allies. I don't think that's too much of an issue, because we were okay with that before, and there's not really too much that wants to make use of the sustained. Because again, 3-man Death Shroud. There's a 10-man, obviously that's nice and scary. But in general, I don't think it needs to be too many changes to it, yeah? So, really quickly, Lazy DM, Ollie Steele is a Plague Surge chat closed Discord. So it's not closed. You have to be a Plague Marine, so you have to be a member. And that is checked by connecting your Discord to your YouTube account, which is in the settings tab under connections. And there basically you will link them together. It goes, hey, yep, you're a member. And then all those channels which are locked to Plague Marines will appear. So yeah, that's why. Next up, so Zito's 50k DPM, right? Okay, let me load this up. I'll have to change the screen a second, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Let that load. There we go, and then let me go change the screen. To Upper GX. There we go. Oh, that's not the right one. Where is it? There we go. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, let's have a quick read of his message. I'll read it out for you. So I've decided not to go with the fights first squad. I wasn't finding too much value in it. Again, we've discussed this plenty of times. The Plague Marines are optional. I don't feel like they are compulsory anymore. It's a good unit, but it's an expensive unit. And if they're not doing it for you, don't sit there feeling like you're putting this 300 points in your list because you've got to. Like, you don't have to. So just bear that in mind. Sorry, 290 points now. I wasn't finding too much value in it. My opponent's just playing around Accelerator and gone with a Chaos Lord instead. Okay. I swapped my PBC for a Defiler to crab around a bit. Everyone likes to crab around a little bit. My other option would be to... Sorry. My other option would be another Hauler and 5 more Marines in the Plague Bus or a Demon Prince. Demon Prince, no. I'm just going to say it right now. That's like, he's like Plague Surgeon tier for me. He's like the 2 models like I can just never suggest is a Demon Prince and the Plague Surgeon. I'd recommend anything over them. My plan would be to try and get sticky and move block with the 2 cultists and Nurglings. Drones and Hauler go up, spread contagion, and can do actions, or if they get a juicy target, can go for it. Death Shroud Terminators can do Death Shroud Terminator things. I've been tempted to run one or both drones with heavy blight launchers and sit with Morty, but I think I'd lose out too much on board presence. I'm also new to Morty, so I'd love tips on how to play him, or if I should. Okay, so let's go to the actual list now. So I've got a Ballast Putrefy and a Chaos Lord. So this is now, we've took away the utility of the Fights First. This is now an aggressive unit. So Fights First utility is great as being a defensive piece. It also means you can do heroic intervention nonsense with it. But when I bring my 10-man Fights First unit, it's literally to sit on an objective behind a wall and be like, this is now fairly secured as mine. Like, I don't have to worry about someone trying to like come and punch me off this now. That's why I like it. But again, if you're not getting value out of it, committing to the Lord with the Ballast Putrefy is going to give you, obviously crits 5s, lethal and everything, rerolling ones to hit. Rerolling ones to hit is actually quite nice, especially on heavy plague weapons. Now, I think mathematically, I'm not sure the Tallyman mathematically adds more damage to the squad, but the Chaos Lord also brings his own damage, which is obviously quite important. So I think the Chaos Lord actually probably wins out mathematically, just because of the fact he's a Chaos Lord. Also, the Chaos Lord is a 4-up invulnerable, fairly beefy little punchy character, and that weird mortal wound aura can genuinely like sometimes just keep rolling 4-ups, which is obviously great. So Lord of Virulence, nice. Malignant Plaguecaster 1-2, so Plague Bus. Mortarion and Typhus. There's the big 10-man squad with all the bells and whistles. Yep, nice. And we've got another 5-man squad to go with the Plague Bus. 2 Rhinos to carry it all around. 2 units of Cultists here. Again, I've already said I really like 2 units of Cultists, really nice. Death Guard Defiler for just some crabbing it around. Now, if you're just saying it because you just want to crab around a bit, nothing wrong with that. Defilers are weird, but what we'll say right now is, and this is something that Don Houston, who's in our Discord, has been playing triple Defiler at the moment. Triple Defiler. And he's having success with it. Which actually, slight tangent. So I just want to point out something real quick, guys. All the lists you send me, the honest truth is that your player skill genuinely matters more. Because Don at the moment is winning a large majority of his games that he's playing, his little test games, running triple Defiler. Now, if you were to come to me and say Defiler's good, my initial answer would be, not really. But it doesn't matter, because if you know how to play the game, you know how to use them. Now, one thing Don has observed, if you're going to crab around, is that you don't treat it as a crab with its giant claws. You're not trying to get melee. Instead, treat it as a shooting platform with something like a Lord of Virulence that can defend itself if someone comes close. So imagine if you put giant fists on a Plague Burst crawler. That's basically what you're looking at like, and that's how he's been playing. He's been using them more to stand back, take angles, and shoot the battle cannons that they, hitting on 2s, ignoring cover because of the Lord of Virulence, and then obviously giving it the extra AP from the -1 save, and it actually adds up and can do a lot of damage. Because again, strength 10, AP 2, flat 3 damage, kind of hurts, not gonna lie. So, and then obviously if someone comes close, which is normally like the weakness of like these vehicles like Predator Disruptors, this big crabby boy just walks up to it and punches it with, I think it's like strength 14 or strength 16 melee. So it's not really scared of defending itself, and it can obviously tank shock and stuff. So these Defilers, actually, not as bad as people think. So in this list, having a single Defiler, just treat it like a bit of a gun platform. But one thing I might say differently is with playing in this list, and again, I'll see because of the rest of the list I've got to see. But it's kind of the way you're asked to play Mortarion. So again, we've got Death Shroud Terminators, 2 Fetid Bloodrunners with Flesh Mowers, Blight Hauler, Poxhawks, and Diggins. Okay, so instantly my initial thought is we've lost the defensive utility of Fights First. Fine, no problem. This now is a delayed pressure list. So Mortarion can be played in multiple ways. Sometimes you want to keep him back as a buff piece. Sometimes he's a counter charge threat. In this one, this is the kind of list where, because again, this round needs to get aggressive because of the loadout that's in it. It can't get charged. It has to be the charge. This is an aggressive Rhino. So you want a turn. You want to set up first turn, stage in different positions, and then second turn, you want to expose quite a lot of this list. You want the Defiler to come out, you want Mortarion to come out, you want this Rhino to come out with the guy still inside, then you want the Death Shroud to drop in, potentially for rapid ingress if possible, and you want the Bloat Drones to all be like escorting stuff. The point is, this needs to connect. A lot of this stuff wants to connect. It's not really a long-range shooty force. If you put stuff out piecemeal with this list, you're just going to get picked apart. This is a list that wants to use Mortarion as a big, hey, shoot me, I'm big. Ooh, T12, ooh, so scary. You want to get shot with Mortarion. Like, Mortarion might die for a mixed combat. But if Mortarion dies to ensure the Defiler, the 10 Plague Marines, the Death Shroud, the Bloat Drones all make it in and start now getting the Contagion everywhere, killing stuff, that's fine. So if you put this army out, always make sure you got 1 CP. Even if it looks like Morty's going to die, like let's say like 4 tank commanders, 3 tank commanders, and 2 Rogal Dawns have popped their head out to shoot Morty, I want you to press -1 to hit on Morty every time. Because the -1 to hit on Mortarion is going to just absorb more shots. And that's all you want him to do in this matchup. Again, if he makes combat, brilliant, excellent. And if you don't shoot him, obviously get super aggressive, get him right in the middle, like full send Morty at that point. But you want him to be the one that's eating the bullets, not the rest of your army. You don't want your Defiler really being shot at. And again, if you shoot the Defiler, fair play. Just make sure that Morty, the Death Shroud, and the Rhino are in positions to punish. So whatever they go and decide they want to kill, make it as hard as possible, even if it's not going to save the unit. It's all about just eating up dice. And then, once you connect, like, you need to go hog. You need to be like, you're not trying to hold the middle and like get angles and shoot. You are like, I want to take you, and I want to take your home objective at this point. That's the way I'd see this list playing anyway. Would I change anything on it? Poxwalkers to hold home. You got a nice amount of cultists. So again, the cultists can do the turn 1 scory stuff and then just run around doing actions. In the context of you wanting to obviously keep your doodad alive now, you also got Typhus that can drop in solo. Lord of Virulence can go with the Death Shroud Terminators. That's nice. It's just kind of, the Blight Hall's a little random. He's not really going to be doing anything, I won't lie. You could probably put him into another Bloat Drone, just because they're generally a bit more useful, because they fly and fall back and shoot and charge and stuff like that. But at the same time, like, Blight Hauler, Bloat Drone, together, they can kind of, like, do the same role. Like you said, if he's just there to run around and do actions, maybe pop off a Melter Shot if he gets close. And people do tend to shoot them, because they just say the word Melter, and people do like, oh, I can't let that get close. So, like, he feels like maybe he could just be a 3rd Bloat Drone, but I understand that if you want to keep him as that, I mean, it's the same points, it's the same defensive profile, like, that's all I really care about from this thing. And again, if he's just going to be scoring for you, that's fine. The Nurglings... The Nurglings will stop you getting jailed, which is kind of important. Well, they help you stop getting jailed. It's not obviously 100% stop you getting jailed. So, Zito, I think, Zito, you're in chat, aren't you? I hope you're still here, buddy. I think Zito was the one I was talking to. And Zito, if I remember correctly, you didn't take Nurglings, did you? At London. One of you that I was talking to has not took Nurglings and hasn't really missed them as much as they thought they would. Because it's, don't worry, Nurglings are great for like stopping infiltrators, stopping scouts, stopping jail lists, but at the same time, but I mean, what could we get for the Nurglings is also a great question. Yeah, I'll let Zito answer that one first. Again, you got this 90 points in this Plague Marine squad here. You had 1 unit, right? So you still had a unit. 90-point Plague Marines, what are they going to do in this matchup? I guess the good thing is they can jump out of the Rhino if you get like an action thing like that. Alright, you still have 1 unit. Alright, okay, we'll keep the Nurglings in then. We'll keep the Nurglings. What do we want to swap anything? I think this is more just it needs to be played and seen, really. Double Cultists is nice. I quite like it. Obviously, the Defiler is not like an optimal choice, in my opinion. Like, if I was going to do this list, like, my initial reaction would be, like, drop the Hauler and then, like, try and find, like, the points. Like, drop these Plague Marines here. And then, has this list got any points spare, or is it 2k on the nose? 1995. Oh, man, I wish I had 5 more points to get a second Defiler. And, like, if you're going to commit to the Defiler, commit to the double Defiler. Because that way you get more value out of Lord of Virulence as well. So you could actually try and find a way to do that, to be honest with you, which actually is not bad. So you could potentially drop the Plague Marines, drop the Hauler, put the Poxwalkers to a what do you call it, a Tallyman to sit on home instead, because you start your units colours, and there's your 5 points to make up the 10 to get that 190 and commit to a double crab. Now, that's obviously if you want a double crab. If you don't, play this list, just play it as I said it, try it out like that, see how it goes. But if you do have a double crab, I think double crab in this list, again, Mortarion double crab with a 2 bloat drone escort. Like, what do you shoot? Do you shoot the crabs? Do you shoot the bloat drones? Because they're faster and they're going to be able to get to easier places. Or do you shoot the big Morty man himself? And if you get to a point where the Defilers can see, something a lot of Virulence can see, hitting on 2s, ignoring all mods because of Morty, ignoring cover, and then rerolling 1s to wound, that's actually pretty fucking good. Especially if you get the AP increase on them because of the -1 save contagion. You're looking at, like, 2d6 plus 6 shots, hitting on 2s, AP2 ignoring cover at strength 10, and flat 3 damage. That's actually going to put a number on people quite grimly. So that would actually be quite fun. But yeah, so consider those. But I really wanted to get back to me on this one, 50k DPM. Let me know how it goes. But those are the changes I'd make if you do have a second crab, because if we're going to commit to the crab, let's crab it out. Why not? Right, back to the main screen, going back to Discord, because I've got to jump between them. There we go. Oh, I've been yelled at. Apparently I'm supposed to... Nat put me a special react on here now. Here we go. I'm supposed to give it a tick. There we go. So I've done them because I did that entire episode where I went through people's list I've already done before, because I am smart. So tick. There we go. Look at that. Yes, tick, tick. Happy days. And we've also done another one actually, haven't we? Yeah, up here. We did Leet Skeets as well. Leet Skeet. Tick. Boom. Look at that. Admin. Drolex, hi mate, how you doing, man? Let me just quickly catch up on the chat. Luis, hi, I'm also brand new to 40k gameplay, not Warhammer, that has been 20 years. My main game has always been fantasy, but always collected 40k. I have a great community right now where I can start. Awesome, I'm glad to hear, mate. I hope you get into it and I hope you enjoy it. Jumpy Wizard, hello. Jumpy Wizard, real life friend Dan. Hello, Dan, how are you doing? And yes, I'm running Rule of Cool with my Plague Surgeon and Playcaster on a melee heavy Plague Marine squad. Can't wait to play with it. Though I know, hey mate, again, if you're new, just play what's cool, man. I even said that in my intro series. Rule of Cool wins out anything. I still own a Plague Surgeon. I've still got him fully painted, and I've played him in random games because why not? I've got the model. I'm gonna use it. So yeah, just rock it. Have fun, man. Have fun with it. Yo, what's up, boss? Did you do mine? How long ago, my brother? Elite Ski. Yeah, we have done yours. Yours was the first up, mate. So, if you just rewind to the start of the stream afterwards, you are first up, bud. We did yours. Okay. So, right. Okay, next. Yeah, right here. Could put a Beast of Nurgle instead of Termisaur, so would give up assassination less, more durable, more movement, doesn't pack as much punch, no contagion. The point of it is to have something that can deep run skill secondaries. Right, okay, so we got Typhus, Biology, Putrefier, Death Guard, Terminate Sorcerer, Armor, Lord of Contagion, Plague Bus, 10 Plague Marines. We have got the characters for that, haven't we? So no Foul Blight Spawn. And I have actually considered this myself. If you're going to use it purely as a aggressive piece and not a defensive piece, you could run without the Foul Blight Spawn before, because it's 60 points. It would save you fair whack. Would I probably recommend it? If you were looking at listening like this is an aggressive list, and you also have the mindset of, right, I'm really struggling to cut stuff, if you're going to be aggressive, you can cut the Foul Blight Spawn. I would keep the Biology Putrefier over the Foul Blight Spawn most of the time. Like, I wouldn't have a Foul Blight Spawn without a Biology Putrefier, but I would have a Biology Putrefier without a Blight Spawn, if that makes sense to you, okay? We've got a Plague Bust. Yep, 10. 2 units Cultists, again, really good. 1 unit of Additional Terminators, Poxwalkers, 2 units Poxwalkers. This already says to me that's probably a bit too much. 3 squads is more than plenty to hold most things. You got a Predator Destructor, 1 Bloat Drone Fleshmaw, 2 Bloat Drone Fleshmaw, the Rhinos, and the Dual Brigand and the Carnivores. This is a bit of an offshoot of the one before. For this list to make the most out of the Plague Marines here, again, I want this to be, if you're going to run just about Street, this needs to be an aggressive squad. But again, what's exposing with this Rhino? What's going to take shots for it? Because at the moment, that's going to go out on its own and just get killed. You could say the Plague Bust potentially. Now, if you're coming in from Rapid Ingress, you put this Random Reserves and Rapid Ingress it in. That's a bit better. That's not too bad, because then you can obviously get out, move, charge from reserves. And you use your shooting units to sort of like hold the angles at the side. So it's like, oh, you want to screen me out from a Rapid Ingress? I'll just pick up whatever unit with my Brigand or Predator that you put out there. That's fine. 1 single Carnivore on this list. Also, again, this list to me is having a bit of an identity crisis. It's not sure what it wants to be. The carnivore is a great count. The carnivore has one or two purposes. One's a great pressure piece because it's real fucking scary, and the other one is we call like a linebacker. So it sits at the back, and when someone sends something forward, it runs out, goes and just like basically goes full monkey mode and just chimp slaps it, and then probably dies itself. That's fine because it keeps people not wanting to run at you. Because again, someone doesn't want to put Land Raider in the middle if the carnivore can just run out and punch it. So it's good for that. But again, and to be honest, it does help cover up the weakness like the brigands and the predators, because again, you now have something a bit scary to sort of like, yeah, come towards me, and I'm going to charge you with this carnivore, which is quite nice. But the bloat drones can go out and sort of like do early tradey pieces. It's just, I don't know what it is. I like the Death Guard Terminator in Sorcerer Armor. Where's he? You've only got the one unit Death Shroud, haven't you? I guess the idea is to bring him on solo and just like do something, but you've already got Typhus to do that, and I wouldn't be putting Typhus with 10 Poxwalkers. Like, you're gonna put Typhus with Poxwalkers, it has to be 20. So I mean, you could combine them into a big unit of 20, which is, you know, not too bad. But I think overall, you don't need 3 Terminator characters for one unit. Like, one solo character's fine, but every other one needs to have a unit. That's my like first thing I'd say. You don't need 2 squads of Poxwalkers, 2 squads of Cultists. So you can cut one of them. There's 50 points. Cut one of these characters, 125 points. Because like 75 are the cheapest. Again, that's another bump up that you could actually go 2 separate 3-mans of Death Shroud. In which case, then you have a lot more like trading like play and like MSU play, because then you can go quite heavy on the MSU with some nice shooting support, because you've got MSU Terminators, you've got the one scary brick, which again kind of needs to get stuck in, and you've got like a plague bus as well, but it opens you up to trading more. I think what you need to do this list is decide whether you want to be a trading sort of like list, or if you want to be a pressure list. Looks more towards the sort of like trading, because you got the predators and the brigands. And if you're going to do the trading list, again, maybe just consider getting that second unit of Death Shroud Terminators in there. Obviously, that would then lose you the solo character, but that's not too bad. It's because you've already got, again, like 2 units of Cultists, and like you got 2 bloat drones. So you still got plenty of things that can go and do stuff, okay? But yeah, decide on that one. I think, honestly, because this is your second list on here, I think I do prefer the first one with the changes which you recommended there. Because this Sorcerer and Terminator Armor, it's great to have the utility to put him in the squad if you want the -1 damage. That's something Zito were talking about, is having multiple squads of Terminators and the characters to sort of choose between a 6-man and a 3-man, because then you can go, what do I need for which job? But when you've just got the one 3-man, I don't think you need that like kind of like tool set. Like a 3-man either is going to be coming in and just wanting to punch something real hard, like a Lord of Contagion, or it's just going to ferry something around. Again, Sorcerer's fine for it, but you don't need the flexibility in a 3-man. The flexibility is more for the decision on the 6-man. Okay. So let me tick that one there. Tick. Where's the tick? Boop. There we go. Alright, Don Houston, everyone needs crabs. What is it with crabs tonight? Pro tip, I regret not bringing Morty against my local Death Guard mare. Yeah, Morty in the mirror. Pretty kind of important. We made it on the tier list and we said, hope you brought Morty to it's definitely a weird one. Jumpy was, I'm good, thank you, and I hope you're doing good, babe. I am, mate, thank you very much. Hope you are too, man. B-Mob, evening bud, keep doing grandfather's work. I shall keep endeavouring to do the grandfather's work for us all. And you guys also are doing grandfather's work by playing this awesome army. The pick and mix characters, that's it, that's the good way. Alright, Don. So I'm not going to obviously critique Don's list. Don doesn't need me to tell him how to play it. I'm sure he just wants to show off his latest concoction, so we'll quickly have a look at his concoction. Lord of Virulence with Deadly Pathogen, yeah, 15, he 100% had 15 points spare. Typhus, 2 units of Chaos Spawn, actually underrated. They do have competition with the Beast of Nurgle now, because that's gone down in points. But the way I see it, and the way I say it is, if you need something to start on the board that can move fast, spread contagion, do things on the board from turn 1, Chaos Spawn are really good. If you need something that's going to be able to be deep striking, just do an action, the Beast and Nurgle is probably better for it. Both are perfectly fine. Both are like probably underutilized units. I do wish Spawn was 60 points, given that ours are worse than everyone else's. but at the same time, like, Spawn are surprising when I've used them. They actually can be kind of annoying to remove because feel no pain. Don't run, they're not going to, like, eat a castigator and be fine, but, you know, so sometimes they can surprise you. But Burgle, Beast of Burgle. But yeah, cool. You know, Chaos Spawn, don't overlook him. See, Battle Line is a suggestion to Don Hooson, as you can imagine. Triple Death Guard Defiler, so he's going to fully commit to the crabs. Hence Lord of Virulence, yep, of course. Triple, was that, gone too far? Was it Triple Predator Destructor? Triple Predator Destructor, Jesus Christ, Don. 12, oh my god. 12 Death Shroud in the 633. I actually genuinely prefer this to the 666. Oh, didn't say that. YouTube, there you go, demonetized. Summon Satan. Now, fun thing, guys. Death Guard Dave has been running the 18 Death Shroud, so when he's going to be on next, he's going to be having a talk to you all about his experience with 18 Death Shroud and how it plays and how it's actually, you know, potentially very good and how quickly it can probably lose you friends. What makes the spawn worse for Death Guard? It's just our spawn don't get any of, like, the fancy stuff. We get Contagion, obviously, but Thousand Sun spawn get a 5-up invulnerable, and World Eater spawn have the ability to get a 4-up feel no pain, which makes them very annoying. So ours just kind of, like, have Contagion, which is good, don't get me wrong, but, like, that's kind of our army rule. The others get the army rule plus something else, like World Eater spawn still get +1 attack and strength from the charge, plus 4-up feel no pain, whereas that's just like, woo, I exist. Oh god, and then a fucking Gatling Knight Despoiler at the end. Jesus Christ, Don, this is horrific. This is actually, like, I'm not gonna lie, if I was put on, like, open board, I would actually be terrified of this list. That is kind of horrific. But Don, I've got to say it now, mate. Where's your third character? Are you honestly taking a Death Shroud squad without -1 to be wounded? How dare you, Don? That is breaking Rule 1. That is Rule 1 broken. Combine them into 2 6-mans. Do it. Even though the 3-mans in this list definitely make more sense. So yeah, if someone was sat there, maybe before was, you know, hey, I really like crabs, and was like, I would like a list to do crab things. You have found the crab list. So I imagine this is what you've been running recently. So I know you've been doing well with it and having fun. So yeah, if people want to go off meta a little bit, check out Don Houston's crab list because it's actually funny as hell. And I wish I owned 3 Defilers so I could try it myself. Unfortunately, I do not. But thank you, Don. Thank you for the joy of the crab list. 1 second. Could Typhus with his 20 extra runes be a good anchor? So, Typhus with the 20 Poxwalkers can be a good anchor in the right matchup. The problem with Typhus and 20 Poxwalkers is, in certain games, it can actually be a nightmare. Like, I used to have games, I used to play it, and there'd be games where maybe they've got like 1 unit that can deal with it, and then you kill that, and then it comes in from reserves, and it gets a charge onto a point, and then it exists there all game, locking stuff in combat, being annoying, hard to kill it all, it's regenerating models, and it's actually pretty good, and you're like, oh, okay, sweet, that's you know, that did really well, actually. And then you play against something like Votan, and 10 half guard appear and obliterate it in a single shooting phase, and Typhus dies as well. They are both they're both a punishment to Typhus and a benefit to him. They are 20 extra wounds, but they also make Typhus act as if he's T4. So it's a weird one. If you have 20 Poxwalkers in your list, don't go with the mindset of putting Typhus with them all the time. Look at your opponent and look how much anti-horde they have. If they have very little anti-horde, slap him in. If they have lots of, like, 1 wound infantry that's going to, like, guard something, like 20 blobs of guardsmen, put him in, because you can just get stuck into a long fight, keep regenerating. If they got stuff like Sisters of Battle, a lot of 1 wound infantry, you can snipe with them all wounds thing, put him in. If they don't have any of that, they've got, like, a load of vehicles, even vehicles, actually, you can put him in if they've not got infantry. But if they're going to just pick up 20 Poxwalkers like nothing, put Typhus on his own in Deep Strike, because that's perfectly fine, we've all been doing that for a while, and just have your 20 Poxwalkers sit on your home objective. Like, that's the cool thing. Worst case scenario, Poxwalkers just sit on your home objective. And they also annoy your opponent when they draw Call the Horde, because they go, oh, I'll just redraw it, and you go, no, you won't. no, I have Poxwalkers, and you got to kill all of them. So they're stuck with a card, and you can make them waste a CP, which is pretty funny, to be fair. So, is it a good anchor? The answer is it depends, and unfortunately, that's an answer for a lot of things when it comes to 40k. But in general, it does genuinely it genuinely does depend, mate. If the opponent has a way to kill hordes easily, like half guard for Votan, then it's a terrible anchor. But if you don't, let's say, do you know what's actually really struggles into it weirdly? I saw like Imperial Knights who like go hard on like the Warglaives, the War Dogs, because like, cool, it's got 2 melter shots. Ooh, it's got 2 melter shots. I'm so scared. You kill two Poxwalkers a time, and then they got the autocannon things. It's like if they're shooting them, you don't really care. Like I'm not gonna lie, like sure thing, shoot away. But you'll also have matchups where again they just get picked up. And it's like you run across the aggressor brick with like Marnius, Calgar, and the Fire Discipline Apothecary. Yeah, don't put them anywhere near it because Typhus will disappear literally instantly. Okay. So R3VS Reeves. Jamie. We're gonna do Jamie's list now. So again, I'll open it up. Give me a second to just change the screen, guys. Is it that one? There we go. Boom. Okay. Sitting here building together my Raven Guard infiltrators, feeling good. Might shit on a blueberry, I don't know. Did someone just say Raven Guard? Did someone just say it? That's definitely not Shrike I've painted on my desk there, is it? Oh, look at that. Jumpy Wizard, what about if I submitted a World Eaters list but renamed all the units Aiden? Will you review it? You know what, if you're committed to do that, I will review it. And Spinach, hello. Hi Spinach, how you doing? Spinach is lovely, by the way. In a nice curry, bit of spinach. Ooh. Bueno. I don't know, words. I was out last night to someone's 30th party. It was fancy dress. I'm a little tired today. You know what's really messed up? If you are at a fancy dress party and you've had a few drinks and the clocks go back half, like obviously like 1 o'clock or something, and I was looking at a clock and it was 1:30, and then like 10 minutes later I checked my phone and it's now 12:30, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm that drunk, I've gone back in time. Yeah, talk about tangent. Okay, sorry. Back to the list. A4. Okay. Balance Putrefire, Mortarion. Nice. Mortarion list. Taliban, Typhus. Okay, very low on the characters here. 10 Plague Marines. So he's going with the Balance Putrefire, dropping the Foul Blight Spawn. Fine decision, but this unit now has to be played more aggressively, yeah? Oh, your comment makes a lot more sense, mate. It makes a lot more sense. Death Guard Rhino to carry it all around. Good choice. 1 unit of Colours. So now, because we're quite low up here, I've obviously got more time. I want to see what's in the rest of it. So 6-man Death Shroud Terminators, probably going to be ferrying around Typhus. Yep, cool. That's nothing wrong with that. So we've got Morty, Big Typhus, and then an aggressive Rhino there. We've got 2 Bloat Drones with Flesh Mower each. We've got a unit of 10 Poxwalkers. Oh, okay, into ally, so yeah, Rotagus. So we've got the Rotagus plus Morty combo. So we've got 2 massive T12 models, both with 4 invulnerables. Gonna be really annoying to kill. And then we got 1, 2, 3 War Dog Brigands. So Brigand Central, the unit Nurglings to allow us to take Rotagus. So this is very similar to what I was playing previously. The Foul Blight Spawn has come out. A Tallyman has gone in. The Plague Bus has been taken out. What's the Plague Bus been replaced with then? What's the Plague Bus been replaced with? Oh, obviously Mortarion, dickhead. There's a goddamn Mortarion right there. So, So I can obviously speak from the perspective of when I played this list without Mortarion and I had extra units in it. It already can kind of sometimes felt light on units. Now, the entire premise of the list was that all of it exposes itself at once. 6 Death Shroud come down, expose themselves. Mortarion wasn't there. Rotigus teleports in, exposes himself. The Brigands come out, and again, it's the question you put into your opponent's head. And the Rhino with the Plague Marines is normally holding an objective, but in this case, could come out. Now, the most important thing, and this is the thing where I'm actually going to say, not having the Foul Blight Spawn here is a mistake. This Plague Marine unit in this list is the one thing that is holding your safe objective, because Rotagus is going to go into the middle Mortarion is going to go into the middle, the Death Shredder are going to go into the middle, and the Brigands are all going to follow him. And the entire point of the list is to say to your opponent, shoot the Brigands, get charged. Shoot the melee stuff, which is way harder to kill, by the way, because it's, Mortarion, Rotagus, so I've got 4-pin ones you could spike, Death Shredder are annoying to kill. And then the Brigands are obviously going to move around and shoot you with melt spears at AP6 and all the Gatling cannons and stuff like that. The Plague Marines are the only thing that sort of like gets to hold home and sort of be safe and do that job for you. So without the fight first, that their entire purpose is gone. So I would probably reconsider taking that off them. I'd also, because I mean, what if we swapped it for the Moy, and that makes me really want to put the Poxwalkers back into like the Ballast Putrefier, but again, we'd still need 5 points somewhere there, which is a bit annoying. That is quite a predicament, isn't it? This is the problem I was having when I was trying to because my initial reaction when Morty came down to 300 points was to get that list and to try and jam Morty in it somehow. And it doesn't really work because you keep ending up in these awkward positions where there's like one key component of the list missing. In this case, the Bar Blight Spawn. And yeah, we could get it by taking out a bloat drone, but again, the bloat drones are doing another great thing of being like either an early trade piece or again, just adding that extra pressure for that massive go turn. So we don't really want to lose another one of them. We're already low on screens and expendable things, so we can't really lose Poxwalkers or Cultists here to fit in the Blight Spawn. The Tallyman himself is not enough points. He's only 45. We need to find him 15. So we're putting this in a position where we can't actually afford what we need to make the list work. So the way I think that has been going better for Rotagus and having Rotagus and the Morty in the same list is you basically need to try and I cut down one of the Brigands, and then to make up for like the lack of shooting there, I think I also took a bloat drone out as well, and then I used the points to make it into 2 predators basically. To sort of I went 2 preds to 2 brigands, and used them sort of as a as like the shooting platform to keep my opponents humble, or because obviously I play with Plague Bus as well, which is I really like Plague Bus. You start basically from fresh and you go with like a full like pressure list. So you go like you go like 12 Death Shroud, 2 big units of 6 with characters inside them, Mortarion, Rotagus. I think this isn't a list that translates easily. I think this is a list that needs to be from the ground up built. Now, will this list work? Yeah, but you just have to play around the fact that you don't have the safer objective anymore because you don't have the Foul Blight Spawn. Now, that's again not the worst thing as long as you're backing stuff up. So you're gonna have to use like your Poxwalkers down here to sort of help out your Plague Marines, be like a little screen for them so they don't get charged. Or you need to dial up the aggression of a level. You need to be the one that's putting the pressure on your opponent early so that him attacking your objective is not really on his mind. It's more about defending his own. So overall, I think you'll be okay. Genuinely, like I don't think it's like too far off. Like it's not like a terrible list. Like again, it's got Rotagus, Morty, Troll Brigands. Like that's just innately good. But just be aware that there is that one weakness, and if the opponent knows it, they'll just charge these Plague Marines and kill them, which means that this Rhino has to stay inside the Rhino and be aggressive. So you need to be like, this is a way more aggressive list than the turn 2 expose everything, see what bounces and then push. This is, if your opponent, even if they don't push or don't put stuff out, you have to like be more aggressive using all your pieces, which means you need to have the Cultists and the Poxwalkers can't do the turn 1 trading because they're going to be the things holding your back and holding your objective while the rest is pushing forward. Whereas normally, like if you got a card that said like turn 1 area denial, I'd be happy to go put the Cultists onto it. Not super happy obviously, but if they die, it's whatever. Whereas in this one, the Cultists kind of need to stay alive. Like they're not expendable as much because you haven't got that anchor unit with the fight first. Okay, so just bear that in mind. But give it a whirl. Let us know how it goes because Morty and Rotagus can genuinely just be an absolute nightmare and people just don't know how to deal with it, and you can just run people over with it, and they're so cheap it doesn't even matter. Like if they expose their entire army to kill Rotagus and then they die to 3 brigands, just make sure you're always ready to counteract and be there to swing back at your opponent. Okay, alright, so back to the Discord here. So where's the Discord? There we go. And then we'll tick that one off there. Making not too bad progress here, boys. And girls. There's a girl. There's at least one girl. She's my missus. Probably should mention that. But she is definitely a girl. That sounds weird now. Also, the same thing you get when you sit for a guard tower stream as true. Phil Graham, question. I've yet to win a game versus Leagues of Votann. What suggestions do you have for being more competitive against them? I played Death Guard allied units. Always slapping -1 save because that army has so little invulns. The one thing Votann are really good at is they're really good at trading, especially OC and stuff, because they have a lot of like 5-man expendable OC2 units. So like killing like the Sagittals and stuff is quite important. Like you want to kill them things to like stop them getting around the board so fast. Bikes are priority target if they got a big unit of bikes. And the half guard are weird. Never be afraid to go to ground if the half guard get to shoot on you, because the Vulcanite, if they got the Vulcanites, got like AP0 a lot of the time. I don't really have too much problem with Votann. You just kind of have to like outtrade them, and the thing is, when they put out their tokens at the start of the game, a good player will put them on the not the scariest things. They'll probably put one on a scary unit, the rest go on like things that can kill easily to get the 3 command points. So don't be, and also bear in mind you can't token something that's in a transport, weirdly. So if you have 10 Plague Marines in a transport, they can't token it. Which is weird, bizarre, but they can't. You can token stuff in Deep Strike, but not stuff in transports. Don't know why. So actually, if you have 10-man Plague Marines, they can't be tokened. Plague Bus murders them so hard, it's funny. So a reserves Plague Bus just rapid ingressing in and driving up and just blasting something is genuine comedy to them. What's he got? 2 Land Fortresses, 6-man and 3-man bikes, Terminators, 2 transports, couple of units. Okay, so the 6-man bikes. Again, I kind of need to know what you're running, Phil, on that one. It's hard to give advice without knowing what someone's running, because I could just be like saying, "Oh, that's great." Just like, for example, I could assume you have, PBCs. I'd just be like, "Cool, yeah." You just mortar them off, kill them, boom, easy peasy. But if you don't have PBCs, like that's fucking useless advice. Do you know what I mean? So I would need to know a bit more information on that, there, mate. Okay, Jacob Virginia Moustache. After the points update, I started making a new list. Bringing us to start my thing, but I do love Rotagus. I love Morty. Okay, so we've got another combo list. So we got Rotagus and Mortarion, Thick Boy, Thotigus, and Friends. Be gone, Thought. Give me a sec. So, Rotagus Mortarion tied for 6 Death Shroud. Cool. So again, 3 really tough units, same as the previous list. Those 3 go together really nicely. All got 4 up invulnerables, which is really important because it's just like it's a big wall that you put in front of someone. One of them is -1 to wound with a 4 up invulnerable. 2 of them are T12 with a 4 up invulnerable. One of them's got a feel no pain. One of them's got a shit ton of wounds. Great. Balance Preach Fire, 5-man melee Plague Marines, Malignant Plaguecaster, Rhino. That all does actually fit together. I actually like that. That's pretty cool. I like that. 10 Cultist Chaos Spawn, a unit of Nurglings, again, to make Rotagus be eligible to be taken. 3 Predator Structures, 2 Fleshmaw Drones, and a Spitter Drones. So, and this one now, I actually quite like this. The Chaos Spawn, I'd be tempted to just swap out for Cultist. I just think, in this list, because it's so light on bodies, like, because you got, when you think when this deploys, you're going to have Morty, 3 drones, 3 predators, and a rhino. There's no, like, if you come across World Eaters, you just need to make sure you have 2 big lines of things that go, you ain't charging me. So I'd actually just swap the spawn out for Cultist, just so you can, minimum, in those bad matchups, make 2 giant lines, which is going to be really helpful there for you. So that would be my, like, initial, like, instant reaction there. The Triple Predator Structure, again, it's just really nice little shooting, keeps your opponent humble. It's quite a gross list, to be honest. And actually, you could use the points from the spawn, because that would be, is it 20 points would be there? Is that enough to put 2 more Plague Marines to make it a 7-man squad with the 5 points you've got spare? I'm not sure. Is it 110 for 7 Plague Marines? Because if it is, like, I'm not going to say no to that. Like, that would be nice, because again, it just makes it a little bit more punchy. And then you can 7, 8. Yeah, you can still get everyone inside the Rhino. I think that would that work? So I don't use 7-man Plague Marines. Guys, how many points is a 7-man Plague Marine squad? Someone please answer me. Is it 125? Ah, bugger. So how much would that need us to get then? That would need us to get an extra 35 points, which would be Chaos Spawn would be 20 plus the 5 naturally 25 points. Yeah, we need another 10 points. Bugger, that's annoying. Oh, that would have been real cool if you couldn't. That if 7-7 would be like the instant like window slam it in the list. That's a brilliant choice. But I mean, God, that's such an. That's the problem I had with this list because it gets super awkward because you're like you got 25 spare points. What do you do with them? Oh, I still think it's the right play though. I'll be honest with you, Jacob Virginia. I still think that is the right play, mate. To be honest with you, just because of that bad matchup, even if you're 25 points down now, you won't be 25 points down because I would probably put those points onto. I mean, none of the enhancements are great. I'm not gonna lie. Living Plague, maybe on like one of the playcasters in case you need, but you really need. Oh man. Yeah, I kind of get your predicament here. It's a bit of a doozy in it. Could you swap the drone down? You don't really want to swap a drone out, do you? No, it's not really worth it. Yeah, this is the thing. It's just an awkward number of points there. We need like an extra 10 points, but we can't get it anywhere. I mean, if you still did it, you're still gonna have an extra 15, so you're gonna have 20 points spare. Sorry, 25 points spare, which they are super good for actions. My worry is just your screens in case you get a bad matchup into like World Eat or something. Because again, one unit of colourless is great for like blocking half the board, but what about the other half of the board? And then they just come screaming down the half of the board. They've tagged all your Predator Destructors. They've killed them all. Not great. Yeah, just do what I do and just deploy 11 cultists instead, and just that's a little bit longer. There at least you get extra 2-inch currency and then a guy. Again, it does depend though, because if you're playing in a meta that doesn't have like early real fast melee pressure and it's not a concern, then yeah, the Chaos Spawn are a fine shout in there. And you do still have Nurglings. I was thinking of losing a Predator. You could lose a Predator. But I don't really want to lose a full Predator just to put 2 extra Plague Marines in and a Cultist, you know what I mean? Because what would that save us? Okay, let's have a look. So we draw Predator, we get 130 points. We then convert a Chaos Spawn from 70 points into 50 points. That leaves another 20 points there. 150, 50 goes straight onto the Cultist. Leaves us 100 points. What can we get for 100 points? You've already got 3 drones, so we can't get another drone in there. 100 points. What can we get? Like, at that point, do we just commit to a 10-man Plague Marine squad? Do you get what I mean? But then again, it can't all ride on the Rhino then, which is kind of like the entire point. So we don't want to be doing that. And, oh man, what do we get? You could put a Blight Hauler in just so you have something to go and do actions. That's not the worst thing. I don't particularly like Blight Haulers for that reason, but like, you could do. Could potentially do 20 pots for 10 with a Tallyman. That's also a potential idea. Is it CP hungry? It's not too CP. I like the Triple Predator though because you just got no shooting elsewhere. You got the thick boys. You got 3 real thick units, but you need something to like. Again, that's what the whole point of the Brigands is to be like, yeah, deploy and watch what happens to you. So, it's a shame Nurglings are mandatory. If the Nurglings weren't mandatory, we just wouldn't need them. Although you do have Nurglings, so you could go 10 across. And then you got 2 spawn and the Nurglings. You might be able to get away with it, but you'd have to deploy conservatively against something like World Eaters or something like that. Especially about like the fight first. Again, Morty and stuff can block, I suppose. And you can always throw away a Destructor. Like worst case scenario, if you're against like World Eaters, if you put a Destructor on the line, blocking, it's not the worst thing because it's only 130 points. And I'm pretty sure everything that charges that in World Eaters, especially that's going to kill it, is going to be, probably more than 130 points. So you actually could take that there, which isn't too bad. I've just been playing conservative trash units. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I can see that working fine. My initial reaction is spawn to cultist, but again, this is nothing we're going to do with 25 points. And none of the enhancements are great. I can totally understand why you've got the spawn there. So yeah, I mean, you could do that. You remove spawn equals minus 70 and 130 from the pred. That's 200. Yeah. Oh yeah. Then wait. What? How have I done that? How would I not in my head? Oh, because I converted 20 and then added it to the 150, didn't I? So that's 200 points if the spawn come out, plus the predator. And then 50 to put the cultist back in leaves us... Yeah, but then we're just back in the old situation. We've got 150 points left. We knew we were taking the predator out instead of the spawn. If we take the predator out, we're back to the first point we are where we've got 150 points left. And we don't really know what to do with it. I'm so confused at this moment. Yeah, remove the spawn. Minus 17, 130 from the pred. That's 200 points we got. We get the cult. You converted a spawn to a cultist to 15. 250, yeah. So that goes in, loses 150 points. But now we're down a spawn and the predator. So we've got another unit of cultists. And then what do we put in for 150 points? Is the question then. Carnivore is not a bad shout, but he does say he doesn't want to use that. They're just not his thing. And that's the thing. We've got to always remember people have their own things. You could potentially go with... If we put a predator back in, we're just back at the same point. So, I mean, you could go 10-man plague marines, but the problem is because there's no... 150 actually would be 90 points plus the 10 for the foul blight spawn. But then you can't share the rhino, that's the problem. Because we've got one rhino, but we've got 2 plague casters and the 10-man, so we can't put that up to a 10-man plague marine squad. It just can't happen. This is what I mean. It's a lot of things that are happening. There's a lot of wheels that are turning. You go bare bones like 5-man blight lords. I do like carnivores. I'd probably go with the carnivore if you like the carnivores. You don't mind carnivores, that's not a bad shout because it's going to get that extra thing to expose. The carnivore being the easiest to kill the things you expose, but also potentially like one of the scariest if it's left alone. And if you make that at a harder angle, you can force people to come forward. That's not too bad. Because the carnivores are 140, is it? Carnivores 140 these days, I think they are. I don't know Knight's points off the top of my head. Could go 3 more Death Shroud, but I don't like 3 Death Shroud without a character. That's the problem. Like, to me, Death Shroud need a character to make work. The -1 to wound is just a bit too important. Plus, they can also just really whiff without that extra character punch in there. So, yeah, you could do that. 155 points, that'd leave you 15 points spare. Which is, again, not enough to put it up to a 7-man. And the swing and roundabouts continues. And at that point, you could always put... I know it sounds daft. You could genuinely always put Deadly Pathogen on a Malignant Playcaster. Like, they're genuinely not awful. Like, it would be Strength 7, AP 2, if you took Messman Save, D3 damage at, like, 5 attacks. It's genuinely not awful. For a guy to just hop out and bash something, it's not the worst decision in the world. Like, you could waste 15 points in a much worse way. But my initial thing is to do something like that. I would probably do that. Because I just don't like how vulnerable it would be to something going really hard turn 1 on you. But again, if you are fine with playing conservatively and just like against Sacrifice the Predator, I actually like the list. I actually think it's pretty good. So yeah, I'll leave you with that conundrum there, Jacob, because that is a proper conundrum. But I think if you like Carnivore, go for the Carnivore, drop the spawn, cultists in, drop the Predator Destructor, put the Carnivore in, and then go into just putting 15 points onto a Deadly Pathogen on a Playcaster, because they honestly can surprise you with how much they can bonk someone with that stick. But yeah, what a little weird... Gotta love free wargear, haven't we? So yeah, I'd try that out, Jacob, honestly. Try that out, give that a whirl. Go try the Carnivore out, the Deadly Pathogen, but if you haven't tried this list yet, just go as it is. Like, genuinely, just try it out as it is, because... if you're not having... Again, if you're playing in a meta... And again, this is the problem. Everything I say is subjective. If you play in a meta where World Eaters aren't a thing and you're not getting turn 1 pressured in melee, then you don't need to worry about the screens that much. And this list works fine. So, 100% always consider where you play and not just take my word as, like, the Bible, because it is not the Bible. Okay? Oh, look, the 11th Cultist is back. So, Jin's Minis, Chunky Nurgle Soup. I have a feeling this is going to be Rotagus and Mortarion again. Craig, I'm going to blame you for this. You started this whole thing with Morty and Rotagus when they were, like, not cheap. And now they're even cheap. You slapped Fadmech and Tau last night with this list. Oh, sweet. Yeah. Let's go. Keep going then. Keep going, mate. And if you do run into that World Eaters matchup, play it like we said. You maybe sacrifice Predator as a bit of a screen, and just, literally, if it goes horrendously, learning experience, then we go, okay, maybe the cultists are important. But if you're not struggling with it, the most important thing for everyone, again, listening, play your list. Like, don't just come here with a list and just be like, what should I change on it? If you've not played it. Like, obviously, it's fine to, it's obviously if you want me to just review it, my opinion, but I always recommend playing the list you give me at least once to see how it plays, because it might play, because again, we even have different play styles. Me, Will, and Dave don't play the same game. We all play the same army, but we all play differently. I'm very MSU toolboxy tradey. You got 10th at Coventry. Jesus, well done, Craig. Hell yeah. Death Guard coming 10th at Coventry. Fuck yeah, dude. Well done, mate. Well done. Beat Jack Tithe again. Oh, mate, you live in that guy's head. You're rent-free in his head so hard. Oh, Death Guard Dave with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, mate. Massively appreciate it. Again, people who just got gifted a membership, go to our YouTube homepage, go on the community tab, scroll down a few posts. There'll be a Discord link that you can see. Click it, join the Discord, connect your YouTube to your Discord account, and you can unlock the Plague Surgery, and you can get your list in here for the next stream. Awesome. And yeah, big up, dude. Thank you very much, Dave. Massively appreciate it, mate. Lord of Contagion, Deadly Pathogen, fucking love it. Slaps so hard. Mortarion, Tithus, Death Guard Cultists, 2 Terminators. I like this setup. I like the 3-man and the 6-man. Craig, by the way, just while we're chatting here, if you are in the chat still, what did you change on the list? Was it the same list? Did you change quite a bit? Obviously, if you want to come on and chat about it at some point, that would be awesome to see how you got on at Coventry. So let me know, dude. That would be really cool. Battle Shock of Morty for him to win the game. Rolled a 4. Inspired. Oh my god, inspired leadership. That's so grim, dude. +1 to Battle Shock tests. If you can see your Warlord. Imagine losing to that stupid rule. I'd actually just I'd quit the game on the spot. That's so dumb. I love it. That's great. Just landed in Monaco. Keep up the God's work, Aiden. Sorry, can't join tonight. No worries, Dave. Enjoy your time in Monaco, mate. Enjoy yourself, bud. I'll no doubt I'll have you back. You'll be back with me soon. Come crawling back. Yeah, I like 6-man and 3-man. I think it's a great little setup. Again, I'm not really sold on the 18 Death Shroud thing. I think 6 and 3 is a real good number to have, so I do like this. 2 Fetid Bloodruns, 1 of a Flesh Mold, 1 of a Heavy Blight Launcher, 3, 1 of each kind, all a bit different, which is nice. We've got Poxwalkers. Oh god, the Night Disposers is the Chunky Boys list, and Rotigus. Straight monster spam, big threats, go on turn 2 if possible, definitely on 3. Keep Rotty and small Death Shroud tournaments in Deep Strike, maybe a Nurgle instead of Infiltrators. Big Death Shroud tournaments up the middle to protect the Burt. That's a great idea, because no one really wants to charge you if you've got 6 Death Shroud that are covering that guy, so he can actually stay in that middle L quite safely without fear of getting charged on the terrain, which is actually quite well thought through. That I do like that. Now I would say I'd probably clean up some of these loadouts, maybe get a bit more redundancy, so either go for triple blight launcher to be annoying shooting skirts, or go triple flesh bolt or triple spitter, because again they can move up and just be more things that are going to get shot on this sort of go turn that you're going to have. Obviously, the Night Despoiler can just step into the cover wherever he needs it, which is great. So you can just step in and shoot through. But, I mean, Morty baits Overwatch and extends Contagion ranges. Yeah, I mean, you have got actually a lot of screen and action units. You've got 2 Cultists, 2 Poxwalkers. So we're actually a really nice amount of screen units there, which can do points. I genuinely would go over Poxwalk into Cultists if possible. I just think Cultists are just generally better than Poxwalkers, but I totally understand if it's just models on hand, because I only own 20 Cultists myself. I mean, this list's going to be funny. It's a bit of a stat check, I won't lie. This is just how much T12 can someone deal with. But I genuinely think it could do pretty well. It's not because the thing is, the Night Despoiler with the Battle Cannons is really good at people worrying about where it can shoot, which makes up for the lack of shooting everywhere else in this list, because there's no Predators, there's no Brigands. But at the same time, you are right, if your opponent doesn't take the midfield, your opponent doesn't push back hard. And again, that's why I probably go Flesh Molds and stuff, to make him scared to come forward and Plague Spitters, because it's if you try and scream me out turn 1, these guys are going to come out and flame it all the way. And you have got Nurgle to stop stuff like Scouts and stuff doing that to you. But yeah, the turn that Morty comes in, the Death Shroud come in, the Rotagus comes in the night, just stands on a ruin. That's going to be an absolute nightmare for your opponent. And like you said, you've got 2 squads of Death Shroud as well, so they're constantly having to worry about screening a lot more, which means that, and because it's a 3-man that's in Deep Strike, he has to worry about his backfield screening a lot more. If it was just a 6-man, it's quite easy to block out. 3-man, less so, which means he has to keep more assets at the back of the board, which means less assets at the front of the board to screen out the big drop of like Rotagus, the 3-man Death Shroud Terminators, and then obviously you got Morty and Thingy pushing forward as well. So I don't actually think I have much to recommend changing this list. I think it's funny. I think it's, like I said, I just changed these to be like Flesh Mowers or Plague Spitters to again just threaten that front line. Part of that, I actually really like it. So I actually want to see how this does. So please get back to me on this one because it's actually really fun. Jim's minis. Just again, the only change to make these either triple Flesh Mower or like double Plague Spitter and a Flesh Mower. That'd be great. Don't think you need Heavy Blight Launch in this list. I think if something exposes itself, this big fella here can probably deal with it quite comfortably. Right. But where's the thing? So I'll mark that off. I like that, Jim. That was really cool. The coolest Jim. God, that is thick, boys. I was good, bless him. I thought him so bad on his go-to, and you need to look at the top fit. Yeah, look always plays a massive thing, especially on 4-ups. I thought you just said I added a Demon Prince, Craig. That's Deadly Pathogen, hopefully. And a 3rd Cultist. Yeah, that's all I changed. When I ran that list again, I was just like, yeah, 3rd Cultist straight in. It's like, you know, absolute Shark Tank is Coventry. Yeah, Coventry 3 there is an absolute... Because it's the most points I think you can get from a single event alongside LGT, so it's an absolute monster of an event. Is your announcement for a Plague Surgery stream? Kinda. It does get announced in the announcements tab, comrade. But you knew that. Yeah, someone answered it for you. Yeah, there you go. You got it there. Zito, let's have a look. It's a 2+ save. I'll be alright. I like it. That's a good name for it. That's a good name. Nope, not that one. Where's its 2+ save? There you go. It's a 2+ save. It'll be alright. Bio's Putrefire, Foul Blightspawn, Lord of Contagion, Lord of Virulence. So again, Zito does the whole pick and mix, as we like to call it, where he'll have a 6-man and a 3-man. Let's quickly go see if he's still got that. Yep, oh, 6 and 2 3-mans. So what he likes to do is he'll bring his characters, and based on the matchup that he gets, and Zito, I've got an interview with him on his LGT run that's going to go up this week, coming probably in the next 2 days. So he'll tell you himself, obviously, but what he does like to do is he will look at his opponent's list and assess what he needs to basically neutralize. So if a melee heavy, he'll consider putting his... You got a Terminator Sorcerer in this one, haven't you? Or have you gone off that guy now? Typhus, Lord of Virulence, yeah. So if he needs like a super Overwatch threat, he'll put the Lord of Virulence to the 6-man. If he needs someone to be killed real dead, he'll put Lord of Contagion in the 6-man. If he's in a melee brawl, he'll put his Typhus in there to give him the -1 to hit, -1 to wound. And basically by just changing the characters every game, because people get too obsessed with like, this character must go with a squad, and it doesn't have to work that way. That he can chop and change what he needs to do to basically have the right tools for the job. It's a very toolboxy list, so do bear that in mind, because it's a very cool part about his list, and I do enjoy it in that regards. So Fetid Bloat Drone, he's got his Mythic Blight Hauler as well, Poxwalkers. I mean, it's still working for you, man. It has got a 2-up save. It will be alright. Morty's in here. You got the 3 squads of Death Shroud Terminators. You got your Land Raider as well, which I actually really like the play of. And again, I don't want to talk too much about this list, Zito, because you do talk about it a lot in your interview you had, and you explain it very well. Now, just is he still in chat? I don't know if he's still here or if he's gone off. If he's still here, let's just point out to me what he added in, unless he's put in the Discord. So look. Yeah, because you didn't have Morty in it, that was it. So you put Morty in now. I still think it's a really good list, I'll be honest with you, mate. I do like the Land Raider. I do like the fact you still get your Plague Marines in the Rhino to push up a little bit. You dropped one of the 5-mans, I think, haven't you? But I do quite like it still. It's a very strange list of places, like Land Raider, Mortarion, Death Shroud. And again, I won't spoil it here because he will tell you himself in a later episode, but how he plays these things is very clever, and he got 4-1 at London as well, being his first ever super major as well, so it's really well done. So I'm actually not gonna speak too much on this because I want Zito to explain his choices and stuff. But I actually like the involvement of Mortarion here. I know you had like another Blight Hauler, but having Mortarion in here, I think just ups the pressure of like, imagine a Land Raider and Mortarion coming at your turn 1. which one are you shooting? One you have to pop and then kill the guys inside it afterwards, and the second one is just way harder to kill. Both are T12, both have got 2 up saves, both of them can pop smoke and -1 to hit if they want to. Not exactly a great choice to make there, so I do actually quite like them. Now, the 7-man's, we do cover it a little bit, but the 7-man, honestly, I don't really use it, but it's a fine choice as like a general all-round unit. It can still hit pretty decently hard. It doesn't hit ridiculously hard. That's clearly a mistake. I know he doesn't run bolt guns. If he does, I'll slap him. But the main problem with 7-man is it doesn't up the amount of weapons you can take. So you can't like go to like 4 heavy plague weapons, for example, or +1 on the sergeant, so 5. So it's like you have to go like 2 heavy plague weapons, 2 robotics, which is still fine. Like, that's still enough melee punch. But if you were just going with like if you were after more shooting, because it's mainly the guns that are the problem, because you can take 2 melee weapons anyway per 5, which isn't too bad, but you can only take 1 of each gun per 5, so the guns become a bit like hit and miss. And so if you want like the flamers for the Overwatch, I'd recommend just going to a 10. But if you were actually just after a squad that can go into a point, charge, and like punch stuff off stuff, which is great, then I would probably go with like I said, the 7-man's fine for that, because you go 2 bike, 3 heavy plague weapon, because sergeant has 1, and you got 5 melee weapons in that squad, plus you've still got 2 guys that can bring like a plague spear and a melter gun. So actually, it's not too bad overall. So 7-man's, do I recommend them overall? I'd probably either go 5 or 10 still, but there is an argument to make that 7-man's are actually still perfectly playable and fine. So I'm not against 7-man's. There's a tourney here in BC right now, and there are 2 Death Guard players who have gone 4-0 so far. Awesome. Ian Harris and Brandon St. Pierre from Mid-Table Tactics. Well, I hope they actually manage to bring it home. We shall see. And if they do, I can't wait to look at the lists in the week, and we'll have a look at how they're doing, because I really want to see some lists. I really want to see some lists that are coming out, because again, this is kind of the first weekend where we're going to have pure this new MFM. Last weekend, the results were kind of a mixture of some people on old rules and points, some people on new rules and points. So I do want to see the list now, because we're all going to be on the new ones. It's going to be real nice to see, and we'll get an infection critical. So I've not done an infection critical, because I didn't want to have lists that I thought would with the new points, but they weren't, whereas now they are all going to be. So that will be nice for us. So yeah, I am excited to see what people have been cooking up. But yeah, Zio, again, I'm going to say it for when you come on a bit. We can chat about it there, but it looks pretty solid to me, mate. I'm not going to lie. Like, it was working for you before. Mortarion in there is just going to make it even stronger to me, personally. Where's my Discord? Matt, can you not see Discord stream? You give up on that? There it is. Right, so let me tick that off there. General tournament question. Are you allowed to switch out your list between games? No, but you register one list, mate, and you use it for the entire thing. It's quite important not to tailor, because you can tailor if the metas are like, what's this thing? You go away. I don't know where that came from. You don't want to tailor too hard. Like, you can tailor to overall metas, but you don't want to like bring a full anti-infantry, because round 1 you could go against Chaos Knights or Imperial Knights, and they're like, cool, I lose. So you do have to be a bit careful about that there. But yeah, right, so let's tick that off. So what I'm probably going to do, I'm probably going to call it there for tonight, guys, because it's been on for an hour and a half now. And it's just obviously ticking on a bit. We've got quite a bit of progress done, so we've still got a couple more to go through, which we'll pick up next week when my throat's getting a little sore, I won't lie. Obviously next time Dave will be here to help. But for people who have just put theirs in, don't worry, we'll get round to it. We tend to do at least one a week. So next week I'll do another plague surgery stream. Hope that's alright for you guys in chat. Anything else coming up soon? Obviously, we've got some interviews with LGT guys coming up, so you guys can look forward to that. We had the video go up for wanting to buy the Kill Team box. Again, if you haven't left a like and subscribe, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. It really helps. I do hope you guys enjoy the plague surgeries. I do like seeing people's list and like what they're going through and like the innovation people come up with. Don't interrupt the song. It wasn't me. It was Dave. It was Dave. Dave interrupted the song. He said the word. I mean, what song do you want on the outro? We have choices now, which is great. So I mean, we had the first. I don't know. Did you hear the new one at the start, Lazy? Did you hear we had the new one on? So we can play some new ones if you want the new ones. If you want some new tunes, or we can just play the good old ones. So you guys let me know, and I'll do it as I go off. It's like a Death Guard radio station. This. Again, people that enjoy the music, They are on our Discord on the music tab here for free download. I'll update with them. We've got 2 new ones. I'll update them on there as well. For anyone that enjoys listening to them. If you don't ask, fair enough, not fussed. It's just a little cool thing to try and give back to the members. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let's play such other guide like videos is what I'm here for. It's the best. Oh, thank you very much. Toxic Wolf from Fern Gully, so dope for Defco. That's awesome. Right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will leave you with some tunes then. So yeah, I'll give you like a new one probably, and then I'll probably play 2 songs and I'll probably end the stream there. I will be in the chat though. Like, I mean, I'm always, let me actually before I start up, because you're gonna get some feedback. Because when I load it up, I always get a bit of feedback, which is annoying. So bear with me. You're gonna hear my voice for a second on a weird loopy echo. Just so I can interact with chat, because my Streamlabs won't let me interact with chat, which is very annoying, weirdly. Okay, awesome. Right, everybody, I will catch you all on the next episode. Thank you very much for tuning in. Stay right on, everybody, and enjoy the little outro tunes when I just quickly get them ready. And yeah, I'll catch you all on the next one. See you later.
From the shadow depths of a broken hive, corpses twitch and come alive. This crimson plague, it feeds on fear as the bodies drop and it draws us near. Our skin is crawling, something's inside. Internal organs liquefied. Death God's gift, a twisted fate. No escape from me, yeah, it's too late. No goal comes except your fate. It won't stop. The hive's infected, it's too late. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive will consume when it's sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite. Blood the rod, blood the rod. Walking pox now takes its bite. Lungs are burning, pox fills the air. You scream for help, but no one cares. Bones are breaking, bodies swift. The Death Guard's gift, death's toxic kiss. Pale eyes stare with a hollow glare. They're gone but shambling, lost somewhere. This hive is his, disease and bloom. No light survives in this darkened tomb. Then no comes except your fate. It won't stop. The hive's infected, it's too late. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive will consume when it's sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite. You feel it settle deep inside. There's no cure, nowhere to hide. You breathe me in, you can't escape. I am the plague, I am your fate. What can you feel it in your bones? This is where it now goes home. No mercy here, you're out of time. Your final breath is that last line. Watch it all decay, fall into your knees. The hive will consume by the sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive will consume by the sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite. Through the skies we come to claim our prize. The world infected before your eyes. We are the rod, we are the end. The Death God's mercy is death again. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive will consume by the sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite. the shadow of decay I rise, typhus the herald beneath poison skies. With nervous rot I lay walls to waste, the reaper's scythe no life can escape. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth I spread the plague with the twisted will. From festering wounds, corruption grows in the heart of death. God, where his blood flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In Noble's name I spread death with ease. Vessels walk with me hand in hand, rivers of filth drown the land. I am typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin I claim the day. Light crumbles to dust. Wherever I tread, rot consumes the just. Space hulks reek of a foul rebirth, carriers of plague across the cursed earth. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth I spread the plague with a twisted will. From festering wounds, corruption grows in the heart of death. God, where despair flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In Noble's name I spread death with ease. Vessels walk with me hand in hand, rivers of filth drown the land. I am typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin I claim the day. The Imperium's light crumbles to dust. Wherever I tread, rot consumes the just. Space hulks reek of a foul rebirth, carriers of plague across the cursed earth. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth I spread the plague with a twisted will. From festering wounds, corruption grows in the heart of death. God, where despair flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In Noble's name I spread death with ease. Vessels walk with me hand in hand, rivers of filth drown the land. I am typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin I claim the day. Language howl, the gassing walls, pestilent tides, new life is born. Miracles passing, a twisted grace, I embrace your heart in my golden grace. Fear the plague fleet, fear the end. No salvation, no let to defend. I am typhus, reaper of dread. Bow to Nurgle, embrace the dead. The blackened sky we rise, wings of death, clouds of flies. The crag will burn, the pure will fall. Mortarion's wrath will consume them all. Ultimate pride crumbled in the dust. Your emperor's light can't stop the rust. Disease and rot are your final breath. Now kneel before the reaper's death. I am the plague, I am the rot, the end of all that you forgot. You fought for hope, you fought for life. Now your shiny world slowly dies. From the skies I bring despair. Your warriors choke on poisoned air. My cracking flames, hear the cries. Mortarion's plague, watch his glory dies. The reaper falls to a runner's sword. In death your soldiers are reborn. There's no salvation, no last stand. My crown is buried by my hand. Blue and gold, once proud, once bright, now swallowed whole by endless night. I am decay, and I will feast. Your chapter falls beneath my feet. Gleaming suns will face my wrath. In every breath, your lungs turn black. Your noble heart, I turn to ash in my shadow. Your hopes will crack. I am the stars. Now life's broken, tainted with my scars. I am your doom, your final breath. Mortarion comes, delivering death. From the skies I bring despair. Your warriors choke on poisoned air. McCracken flames, hear the cries. Mortarion's plague, watch its glory dies. The angel falls, your runner torn. In death your soldiers are reborn. There's no salvation, no last stand. McCracken's buried by my hand. Buried by my hand. You fall, you fall. McCracken's buried by my hand. From the depths of rot and decay they rise. The death god marches on the sickened skies. With boils and blight, they spread the pain. In Nurgle's name, disease will reign. Terror and pestilence flows. With every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The death god comes, none can stay. From the depths of rot and decay they rise. The death god marches under sickened skies. With boils and blight, they spread the pain. In Noodle's name, disease will reign.